Now, Kenya may be home to the biggest mobile market in East Africa, but of the three mobile service providers here, only one, Safaricom, is profitable. Bharti Airtel has been bleeding money for years now, and Telkom, which is now 60% owned by Helios, is also bleeding money. Now, would a merger of these two firms perhaps give them the market muscle they need to take on East Africa's most profitable firm? Well, that's a question CGTN's Ramah Nyang put to Telkom's CEO, Aldo Mareuse.
But regulators haven't acted, and that by itself tells you something, doesn't it? Because if it's, as you said, it's an argument we've been having for the better part of 4 years now, but no one has acted on it. Now, if they've not acted on it, either A, they don't buy the dominance argument, or B, they have an incentive problem here. They're basically trying to, as you put it, they're only looking at the short-term issues and they're saying, well, I'm not going to touch this.
Yeah, I agree. But exactly. But why would Kenya, which is such a great country, a great economy, the fifth economic power in sub-Saharan Africa, would be the only country in the world where there's no dominance implemented? Why? Is there a reason? Just tell me. It's actually, if you look at the way the profits are shared, Safaricom, because number 2 and number 3 are losing money, has 100% profit of the industry. So that puts Kenya up there, okay? And if you look, there's no other country where one competitor has 100% of the profit. And there's no other country where there's no dominance implemented. It's as simple as this.
Would you support, just for the sake of argument, taking that argument a little further, would you be in support of a measure to, say, split Safaricom such that the ordinary vanilla telecommunication stuff, so your voice, your data, your SMS and so on, that remains as one company, but the fintech bit, the M-Pesa especially, gets split off into a separate company? Because that would seem, at least at face value, to remove that network effect that you're speaking of.
I've been public about this. I've said no. And the reason why is because we don't want Safaricom to be punished. This is not our objective. Our objective is to make the market dynamic for the consumer. That's our only objective. So the fact that M-Pesa is a big success for Safaricom, that's great for them. Let's not, I don't want to punish them. The only thing I want is this market to be competitive. That's all. Okay, so give us a structure of the industry that enable us to compete. That's all I want.
And the structure would involve what? Common standards for operating, especially on the mobile money side?
Yes.
We're not talking about a market that's relatively small as far as mobile money is concerned. But let's lay the groundwork here. If we're going to set a common standard for operations across all three firms, how do we get you and Airtel and Safaricom on the same table to agree on a common set of standards?
So you need a little bit of help of the regulator to do this. Otherwise, obviously, because there's conflict of interest, we will never agree. So I think what we need is wallet interrupt that works. It's starting, but there's still some tweak to be made.
You've covered the agent side of it, but going back again to the structure, because it sounds like that would be something that could be sorted out if you all agree on one simple SSD layout.
Yes. It's just very simple. You just need the parties to agree. So we have a way forward. We just need someone to help us to basically, which is a regulator, to make it happen. And this is what happened a little bit on the interrupt, on the wallet interrupt. We got some help to get this working.
Why not sue?
Sue is the last recourse. If you don't get something, but I would hope that we have mature players, that we all want, including Safaricom, the industry to be competitive, and therefore we need to be able to do it ourselves. Okay?
But at the end of the day, we've been, like you said, we've been speaking about this for years. Nothing's happened. The competition authority is not acting, and they've plainly said we're not interested. CAK is not acting either. At some point, you've got to do something.
At some point, yes. At some point, when but I think I still hope that we can agree, and that the regulator is now, has had the time to look at all these measures, and now needs to implement it. If it doesn't happen, then we always have this option, and we will obviously use this option if nothing happens.